Oh, yeah, Paul? Okay. The Thursday, February 26th, 2026 meeting of the Zoning Board of Appeals. Just as a reminder, this meeting is being recorded. And just, we'll say it at the beginning and at the end for anyone who's watching, this should be our last meeting in this space. The next meeting will be at the municipal complex and in the town hall building.
Community center.
Yeah. We're trying to keep this moving. We have, first on the agenda, we have the approval of minutes. Do we want to approve those, or do we want to maybe table them?
I tabled them till Rich comes
Okay.
back.
Do we need to make a motion for that?
Make a motion to table to the March 26th meeting.
Do a
Second.
Okay.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. And second on our agenda, we have the continued public hearing for the 35 Village Road comprehensive permit for the creation of multifamily housing. We do have communications to read into the record. Do we want to start with that?
Usually we do, yeah.
Okay.
All right, this is from the Ipswich River Watershed Association dated February 12th, 2026. To the board, thank you for your opportunity to comment on the 40B comprehensive permit development proposed at 35 Village Road. As this project is located within the Ipswich River Watershed, which is designated as a highly stressed basin, we have reviewed the project documents specifically related to potential impacts on water quantity. As you may know, the Ipswich River is one of the most flow-depleted rivers in Massachusetts, was declared one of the 10 most endangered rivers in America in 2021 by the American Rivers due to unsustainable water withdrawals. The Ipswich River is also the lifeblood of the North Shore, providing drinking water to 350,000 people and businesses every day, such that the additional water demand or degradation of water quality in one community affects others downstream. It is therefore the position of the Ipswich River Watershed Association that every new development or redevelopment project in the watershed should not increase water use nor negatively impact water quality in any amount, and ideally such projects will contribute to the improving current conditions via the pursuit of mitigation strategies during the permitting process. The project should be conditioned to minimize water use to the extent possible, especially non-essential uses such as outdoor water use. This is particularly important given the ongoing regional drought the Ipswich River Basin is experiencing now, which affects the sustainability and reliability of water supply even before factoring in water withdrawals. We offer the following specific recommendations to ensure that the water used by the proposed development does not further stress the local and regional water supply. Number one, the project at a minimum should offset 100% of its projected use through both requiring the minimization of its use within the project, for example, ultra-efficient fixtures, and requiring the developer to offset the rest by working with town officials to address water use in other areas of town. Number two, the project should be conditioned and the developer required to plan for compliance with the town of Danvers and/or the town of Middleton requirements for water conservation, including but not limited to the towns of Middleton's water use mitigation program. Number three, landscapes should be planted with drought-tolerant native species which do not require irrigation beyond the establishment phase. Automatic irrigation systems should be prohibited as these systems are guaranteed to leak over time and even in normal operations will use a lot of water. Additionally, any private wells for irrigation use should be discouraged. The project should minimize the production of stormwater through site design, for example, minimization of impervious areas, and infiltrate 100% of the stormwater runoff on site so it can recharge the groundwater. Runoff volumes and rates from the site should equal pre-development conditions. Please incorporate these comments into public record. That's from Aaron Bonnie Casey, Executive Director of the Ipswich River Watershed.
Thank you very much, Anne. Moving on. Any comment from the board? Okay. Moving on. Is there anyone here to speak on behalf of this project or this application?
Board, for the record, John Smolak with firm of Smolak and Vaughn, representing the applicant. Ferncroft Apartments LLC. With me this evening is Will Graham with Sovereign Partners as part of the ownership group, as well as representing the applicant. Also with us is June Zeringer and Ed Bradford from the architectural team, our project architects. Before we start, I just wanted to give you a few updates as to where things stand since our last hearing. I understand that the traffic peer review scope was approved, and funds have been provided and is starting to be implemented at this point. I also understand that the civil and stormwater peer review scope has also been finalized, and I assume that will be started within a matter of a few days. Several weeks ago, several weeks ago, representatives of the applicant met with the Middleton DPW as well as the Danvers Engineering Department to have a discussion about water and sewer. And I understand I wasn't at the meeting, but I understand it was a productive meeting. And that the next steps are that the engineering department in Danvers is going to put together a scope for review of both water and sewer capacity and the like, similar to what had happened with the prior Village project as to water. There was a scope work that was developed. So as soon as we see something additional in terms of that substantive, we'll update the board on those matters as well. And so, as you know, this evening's topic is architectural design and massing in the buildings. And so, with that said, I'd like to have the architectural team, June Zeringer, start off with a presentation for this evening. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, the board, Mr. Chair. For the record, my name is June Zeringer. I'm an architect with TUT. I'm here with Ed Bradford, the principal of my firm. So this is the third public hearing, and our focus tonight is on architecture. So we'll briefly touch on some of the slides that were already presented in the previous hearings, and we will dive deeper into the floor plans that shows building organization, as well as we prepared a couple of new perspective images of the drop-off area and a walkthrough video on Village Road, which we will show near the end of this presentation. Next, please. So just to briefly talk about existing condition, our site is bounded by the red line here. That includes an existing office building and a separate parking garage with the surface park adjacent that's facing the Village Road. Next slide, please. So we are proposing two new construction building with 200 units, 94 units at Building A, which is a bar-shaped building to the right side of the existing garage, and 106 units at Building B, the L-shaped building just north of the garage there. So just to talk about parking situation, most tenant will park at the existing parking garage, which is currently underutilized. There are some parkings provided in the new construction building of Building B, which we will touch on briefly for the next slides. So every floor plan is pretty unique, and I will try to be very concise and just highlight the most important parts of these floor plans. So we will start from the lowest floor level of our project. This is a floor plan showing the lowest level of the two buildings, which is Building B that you see on the left side of the screen here. And what you see here in the gray shaded area is actually representing undisturbed soil. And the dashed line represent the structures sitting above the current level, as just for everyone's reference. So the units are in the blue shaded area of different types of the residential units that are namely studios, 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, and 3 bedrooms, which is served by a corridor, which is shaded in yellow, and it is also served by elevator, which is a little bit hard to see on the screen here, but it's right next to that red dots, it's hard to point it out from here, but just at the knuckle of the building. So all of the residential units on this level are in the building B2 portion of building B. And I will talk about how we have the separate volumes of the buildings that are separated into 4 different parts overall. Next, please. So this level is 1 level above. So all the residential units are on the B2 side of building B. This is a double loaded corridor as the grade gets higher. And the grading around building kind of recedes and gets more taller. Next, please. So here on the next level, we start to see lowest level of building B1, which is part of building B, but this is the lowest level of the other portion of building B. They're mostly garage, and the site grading allows the garage access from the west portion of the building B, where you can see the red arrow on the west portion of the building. There are 27 garage parking spaces on this level, and residents can have access to the units directly from the parking. And on here, that trash is all managed within the building with a built-in trash chute, which is located directly adjacent to the elevator. Next level, please. So on this level, we have another level of parking with 20 spaces. The garage access is at the same level on the east portion of the building, where you can see the red arrow to the right side of building B. And the residential units are lining along Village Road, and there are some units in the rear side of the building. And some of the back of the house and bike storage is located just off the parking spaces on this level as well. Next slide, please. So building B main entrance and leasing is accessed from this level, where the drop-off area is to the right side of building B and just adjacent to building A. This is the building A's lowest level, which is at the similar elevation. And this is a single-loaded corridor where the units are lining just one side of the corridor. The back of the house is on the other side of the corridor, access from the drop-off area. The elevator is right where the dash line is, almost like in the center of the building A. And their bike storage is also located on this level. Next slide, please. And this is building A's main entrance level. We are providing direct access to the elevator from here. The trash chute is located to the right side of the elevator, and the as well as the staircase. We allocated some parallel parking, surface parking spaces directly adjacent to building A for easier access as well. And building B, they're sort of typical floor plans that are shown here. Next slide, please. So this is a typical building A floor plan. Building B is now stepping up, and all of the units are in building B1 portion of the building, and it has access to the roof deck that's just above, sitting above building B2. So building B2 has been concluded, and then we have the rest of the building B1 that's happening on the right side of the building B. Next, please. Again, typical building A floor plan here with units. Building B with units are on the B1 portion of the level, and this is the last level of building B. Next, please. And this is typical floor plan again for building A. And then we're showing the roof plan of building B here. So now building A is stepping up to building A1 portion of building A. And it has access to the building, the roof deck that's sitting above building A2. And this is very similar layout of building A of level 5. So I did not show the next level of building A at level 5, but it's very similar. Next slide, please. So this is showing roof plan of the both buildings. And yeah, there's not much to say about this floor plan. The next slide is also from the previous presentation. And we just wanted to kind of recap and just illustrate how we coordinate with the adjacent neighbor. We remain mindful of, retaining the existing tree canopy, and we really carefully refine the building height, being sensitive to the adjacent neighbors. So the next slide shows how we have initially designed with a little bit taller but shorter length of the building. But after the discussion, we have taken down one level of building B and slightly elongated the length of the building, of the leg. Next slide, please. So on here, we just want to talk briefly about the materials and how we decided on the material selections here. So the selection of the exterior material palette is driven by the changes of plane, which really helps break down the volume of the massing of the building. Whenever there is a shift in plane, a different color or material is introduced. So on building A, for example, the taller portion of the portion is divided into two distinct volumes that you see on the left side of the bottom of the image. That's building A. One is finished in the tan color lap siding, and the other one is that's happening just where the shift in plane happens. We have the grayish blue lap siding that's applied there. As the massing steps down, another change in plane occurs, and the tan lap siding is reintroduced to introduce the transition of the volume. And the building scale is further refined with fiber cement panels above the windows and vertical bays clad in dark gray fiber cement panels, which creates a consistent rhythm and breaking the facade into smaller and more human-scaled elements. So, and same thing, again, is happening to building B. We have the taller portion of the building B, which is to the right side of the image there. We have where there's a shift in plane, different material color is applied, and the base of the building B, which is lining the garage portion of the building, we have the brick veneer that is applied again, lining the retaining wall of this part of the portion of the building. And again, where the leg bends, the tan lap siding is applied again. Next slide, please. So again, this is the same slide we presented last time. So just the same image that we presented, aerial view of the existing conditions. And then the next slide is our proposed design. And then we zoom into the enlarged image of our proposed building. And the next slide, this is also again, same slide from the last presentation. Just a view from the street level on Village Road. Just to kind of talk briefly about this image, we have the existing office building that is on the top left-hand side of the image, and then we're looking straight on to Building A, massing as you walk down or drive down on this street level. Next, please. So again, same slide from last presentation. This is the view on Locust Street. This image captures the retained tree canopy that we talked about from the earlier slides to the right side, which is to the right side of this image here. And also the gated fire access road is captured on this image. So this is a new image that we created for this presentation. This is what you will see when you drive down the new road that we created for this project. It's a view towards the drop-off area. The focal point of this image is the building B that you see straight on from here. The leasing main entrance and the leasing spaces right adjacent to the parking, the surface parking that's shown in the center of this image. The existing garage is located, shown on the left, and the building A is on the right-hand side of this image. So this is another drop-off area image with a different vantage point. You can see the sidewalk that is placed just along the circular drop-off zone that this will look down on the hill towards the golf course. There are a few surface parking in front of Building B lobby for direct access, and the access to the level 1 garage of Building B is just down the street to the left side of Building B here. So now we're going to play a walkthrough video of the project showing what it will look like as you head down the hill on Village Road. And that concludes our presentation.
Thank you.
you.
Yeah, that was super cool that having the drive-through, or the video. Questions, comments from the board?
I'm just curious, how do they choose the colors of the building?
The colors of the building.
Yeah, I mean, tan is nice, the gray is a little stark. Just like, whose decision is that? What made you choose gray rather than something green or blend in more?
We haven't settled on the colors as of yet. We wanted to kind of show the difference of the mid-tone and also maybe lighter tone. We could obviously further study the colors, but at this level of project, I think we're still to be decided on the color of the exterior materials.
Yeah, I think that's right. Hi, folks. Ed Bradford, TAT, for the record. But yeah, as John described, colors aren't fixed yet, and colors are always a challenge. Everyone has an opinion about colors.
Oh,
but
very subjective. I know, there's no right answer.
it can be. But it's really about the contrast that John described, so breaking down the mass with some contrast. Whether that turns out to be a gray-blue or a gray-green, I mean, it'll be something we'll work with our client on and the team and all of you. Happy to of course, hear your suggestions as well.
And I know this is probably more of a question for, you had the DPW coming down, and in regards to the Ipswich watersheds questions relative to wells, are you going to have wells for the irrigation, or is that going to be on the Danvers town water? Because if it's on the town water, that kind of gives you an incentive not to overwater.
Well, I'll answer that, sure. I think that there's irrigation there today, and I think it hasn't been determined yet, finally determined as to what will be implemented for the newer sections, but that's still to be determined. And maybe that's something that we discuss a little bit further as we get further down in terms of the water and sewer discussion as well as landscaping, and then come back to you on that. I don't have a full answer for that right now.
Yeah, just, I would want to follow up on that, that's something that we will be looking at when we look at the stormwater and the drainage. So we plan, I think, to do that potentially in April. But we'll have the stormwater report that they've provided, as well as a peer review from the engineers we've selected that will lay all of that out. So we'll be definitely taking a closer look.
Thank you.
Yep.
Linda?
My question was about the water too, so asked and answered.
Okay. And?
Where's the parking for Building A? I mean, Building A, parking.
Primarily in the garage. There are a few, as John noted, a few parallel spaces between the garage at the surface, but
You
they're,
mean the existing garage?
yes,
They can park there?
yes.
And what about this, I know I haven't been here, but how about the sewage issue? Have we discussed that yet? Is that?
April.
That's in April.
Just architecture today.
Pardon me?
Just architecture today.
Okay, yeah.
Craig?
You don't want my opinion on architecture. The only thing I might suggest is, to Anthony's point, just some different color
Yeah,
schemes. just
I was going to
present.
mention that too, yeah.
It's easy enough just to like
The
fix
color
the
is not.
palettes.
Yeah.
We
That
did
definitely
that for
needs to change.
Villa Bridge too.
Yep.
Sure.
I do have one question, and it is not related to architecture, but it is, I meant to ask it last meeting and I didn't. If you go back to slide 15. Yeah, there we go. Oh, there we go. There was originally a walkway from building B to the garage, and that is now no longer there. Do we know why that decision was made? I know you're the architects too, so.
Yeah, I think there will be further discussion on that, as John noted, but the accessible route from Building B to the garage is kind of from the entry at the corner of Building B, and then to Page Northeast around.
Okay.
I'll probably just go right there and point it out.
Yeah, okay. So the building entrance is on that corner, so, okay.
Yeah, that's, so, yeah, building entrance, and there's an accessible route that the civil engineer has worked out that goes this way, about across this crosswalk and in the garage. So we know that's an accessible route. Whether there's an additional route, as was over here with the kind of zigzag I think that's to be explored, but this is the primary accessible route from B to the garage.
Yeah. The only reason I mention it is because, well, I noticed the difference, and then as I'm looking at 24, I just see like where the white, I don't know, where the white Audi is, right? There's that guy walking and he's on his phone. I just see him crossing the street, like, and walking. Like, I just, knowing humans. And being one, I just see that, and that's just a safety concern for me. So, and I just wanted to comment, like, I really appreciate the explanation of the differentiation of the colors and the contrast. I think it, I mean, I like the colors as is, but I'm not against seeing other options. So, anything else? Okay. So, do I need to do anything to move on?
I'll move to continue.
Well, is there any public comment?
Oh, right, thank you. Is there anyone from the public who would like to come, who would like to speak on behalf or not on behalf of this? Yeah. Okay. Okay. What was that motion, Craig?
I will move to continue to the March 26th meeting.
Okay. Do you have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Linda. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you.
Thank you.
Excuse me.
What was it?
This is
Landscaping.
really, this is really the first one
Oh,
of like
okay.
substance.
Oh, okay.
The last meeting, we just like opened it up.
Okay.
Yeah, we had to go to architecture because Rich wasn't going to be here.
I was just trying
So
to.
he wanted to weigh in on civil
John?
and such.
Oh, yeah, true.
Plus we got to wait for peer review.
I'm not trying to jump ahead to it. I know we still have that issue that
Looking
we
for
have to
notes from
resolve. I'm not, I think we can get there. But I look forward to your analysis nonetheless.
Moving on, we have a new public hearing for 22 Old Haswell Park Road for site plan approval for a detached 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom ADU.
Okay.
And you want to
And the
read
zoning board
that?
of appeals will hold a public hearing on Thursday, February 26, 7 PM, Fuller Meadow, on the application of Mr. Gandhi for site plan approval. The applicant is proposing to construct a detached ADU at 22 Old Haswell Park Road, found on Assessor's Map 28, Lot 59A. Plans on file with the town clerk.
Okay, is there anyone here to speak on behalf of this project, or this application, sorry? If you want to, yep, you can either use that. Typically, we have applicants stand here. And,
You can sit,
yeah, or you can have a
Yeah,
sit,
just
yeah.
turn the microphone so it's towards you, so you're good.
Yeah.
You're good.
And just so you know, you won't hear yourself in speakers.
Oh, got
It's
it.
just, it's kind of weird to speak into a microphone and not have.
Got it,
hear-
okay.
It's for the recording.
Right. Is this the library, by the way?
This is the library.
Okay. My son studies here. He was more excited than me for me to come here, you know. He told his entire class that I'm coming here today, so. Anyway, so I'm Jitesh Gandhi. I'm the property owner of 22 Old Haswell Park Road. And I'm here to request approval to construct a detached 900 square feet ADU. This is going to be for my aging parents who want independent living. The site is going to meet all the setback requirements. There are no variances requested. The utilities will be coordinated with Danvers Water, MELD, and then we're going to have a separate Title V septic system installed. So yeah, that's it in a nutshell. Not sure if you have any questions or if you want me to elaborate.
Okay. Had it opened on my computer. Do you,
Just to let the board know, there were not any department comments on this application or any concerns from any of the other town departments.
Okay.
If I may.
Yep, go right, I was just gonna ask you, so go right ahead.
The only thing, looking at the plans, was it only seems to really affect one neighbor because it's down your driveway, kind of in their front yard, the Luftons.
Okay.
And I guess they're not here, right? And they were notified. I saw them on the list.
Right.
So they must be cool with it. They never met, did you mention anything with them about it, or?
Yeah, I gave them a heads up, and they said they reviewed the plans at the town office,
Yeah,
and they said they would like to speak with me, and that's it.
cool.
Linda? Any questions, concerns?
900 square feet seems small for 2 bedrooms and two.
Well, that's the maximum. I would love to go beyond that, if you allow me, but, because some other towns go beyond 900 square feet, but,
The 900 square feet is a state requirement. Yeah.
okay.
Some other,
Does
yeah.
that include a garage?
Not unless it's a habitable space. It doesn't include like unheated,
And then
yeah,
an
unheated
porch or
garage is not included.
Craig?
Is there anyone here from the public to speak in opposition?
Oh, okay, yeah. Is there anyone here from the public to speak? Sorry. Okay.
Hearing none, Madam Chair, I will move, based on the evidence and the testimony provided, I move that the board make the following findings. First, that the proposed 900 square foot detached accessory dwelling unit complies with all applicable provisions of the Middleton zoning bylaws and site plan review requirements. The existing driveway will be extended to provide the required off-street parking in a non-tandem configuration while maintaining safe circulation. The lot exceeds the minimum required area and frontage. The proposed ADU meets all required setbacks and height limits, and the total coverage will be 5.6%, well below the 25% maximum permitted. Second, that the site plan is designed to provide safe and convenient vehicular and pedestrian movement on and off the property. The existing driveway opening on the street is maintained, and the length of the driveway extended to serve both the principal dwelling and the ADU. On-site circulation allows vehicles to maneuver and park safely without encroaching into the travel lane, and pedestrian routes between the parking areas, the primary dwelling, and the ADU are arranged to reduce crossing points and potential conflicts with vehicles. Third, that the parking spaces are located along and adjacent to the extended driveway, providing convenient access to each dwelling while avoiding reliance on on-street parking and maintaining clear internal circulation. As the project consists solely of residential uses, no dedicated loading spaces are required, and the number and placement of parking spaces are sufficient to accommodate resident and visitor demand. Fourth, that the proposed ADU and site improvements are designed to be compatible with the existing dwelling and surrounding neighborhood, maintaining the property's residential character. The ADU observes required setbacks, preserves usable open space, and allows safe circulation for vehicles and pedestrians. No new signs are proposed, existing vegetation is retained where feasible, and supplemental landscaping along property lines and around the ADU enhances privacy, softens views, and provides screening between structures and neighboring properties. Fifth and finally, a new septic system meeting Massachusetts Title V standards and local Board of Health requirements will be designed and installed to serve the proposed ADU, providing proper wastewater treatment and disposal appropriate to the site conditions and use. Surface and subsurface drainage are designed to maintain stormwater on site by directing runoff away from building foundations and toward appropriate infiltration or discharge areas, minimizing erosion, ponding, and impacts on neighboring properties. Existing grading and drainage patterns are preserved where feasible, with supplemental grading and drainage improvements added as needed to maintain positive flow and avoid adverse downstream effects. Exterior lighting is limited to residential scale fixtures located at entries and along primary circulation areas, providing safe visibility for vehicles and pedestrians while minimizing glare, light spill, and visual impacts on adjacent properties.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second it.
Seconded by Ann. Everyone in favor, say aye.
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 Madam Chair, based on those findings and pursuant to the board's authority to grant such relief under section 7.5 of the bylaws, I move to approve the site plan as submitted, subject to our general conditions.
We We have a motion. Do we have a second? Seconded by Linda. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. There you go.
So it's approved?
Easy
Yeah.
peasy.
What do you mean by subject to conditions?
No,
Yeah.
subject to our general conditions.
Okay,
General.
all right, great. Thank you very much.
Good luck.
Thank you. And good luck to you for the big move tomorrow and next week.
Well, we're not the ones moving.
Oh,
She
okay.
is,
Good luck to
really.
you.
I'll send you a copy of the attachment of the general conditions.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much.
Okay, moving on, we have a new public hearing, for 7 Jordan Lane.
Could we push this to later in the agenda?
Yep, that's
You're
what I
able?
was thinking.
Thanks.
What else is on the agenda?
The zoning bylaw review update and the project update
Oh,
for
all right.
227 Maple Street.
The zoning bylaw review, I just wanted to go over a couple things with you all, just to bring you up to speed on where we're at with that. There was a public forum last fall, and then there's been a little bit of quiet while the consultants were actually doing the rewrite of the new draft. So they have a draft version. The planning board reviewed it at their February meeting, and there's a couple things that I just wanted to bring up to you all so you are aware of them. And then I want to suggest that if you have further, we can discuss anything tonight, but also if you want to keep discussing further, we can, the planning board will continue to continue their public hearing for their March 11th meeting. So a couple things though that are.
So I missed that. So on March 11th,
Yeah, so the,
they're going to present,
they're gonna continue, the planning board is gonna continue reviewing the changes, and hopefully, we're hoping that we have a final draft at the end of that meeting.
okay, and the consultants will be at that March 11th? Because I did have some questions on it. I thought they'd be here tonight, so I should probably save them for March 11th?
Well, we can go over a couple of them tonight because they
Okay.
might be something that I know, but if not, then I can bring it back to them and then,
They were
yeah.
just general interrogatories, but,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, so let me give you a couple highlights, and then we'll get into the questions, Anthony. So one of the biggest changes that will affect you all, well, a lot of it will affect you all because you're interpreting this on a daily basis, but one of the biggest changes is that the special permit granting authority, we're consolidating all of our special permits under the zoning board of appeals. So.
Say that again?
We are gonna be, currently, the planning board reviews some special permits and the zoning board reviews others. The planning board reviews primarily for two-family developments and for flexible development, like, kind of like subdivision-style development. But we are proposing to change that so that the ZBA will be the primary reviewer for those special permits, in addition to the other special permits you all review.
If I remember correctly, was there a point in time when the ZBA did all of them, then it moved, then it was split, and now, are we good? We're talking about going back to the way it once was?
I am
Or am
not
I
positive,
wrong?
I'm not
Could be
positive about the history of that.
These two should.
I don't remember.
I will say that when we were looking at the decision, the planning board has had only 3 of these special permits in the last 8 or so years.
Yeah,
So it's not gonna probably be a very significant change.
yeah. I think it makes sense.
I remember doing two-family,
Okay.
two-story. I remember doing it a long time ago, but.
We get paid the same, so. it works
Yeah.
for me.
It doesn't
Right.
matter.
No, actually, I think that makes sense, to consolidate.
The other thing that will change with that is our flexible development bylaw. Right now, it's not super clear as it's written, and that's,
Unusable, I think is the appropriate term.
it's not usable. So we are specifying in that bylaw that it would be, the flexible development option would be by right with site plan approval. And so that would be something that the ZBA would review under the site plan approval, rather than a special permit. So that will be, I would say, another pretty significant change that we're making. as of now, we have it written in a way that we keep, we basically keep very similar standards to what we have now of where those kind of developments would work. They're most useful when you have like either wetlands buffer or something that isn't ideally something that you'd want to preserve for open space rather than development. So the idea is to encourage like a little bit more of a cluster development combined with open space. But the idea would be that that goes through site plan approval, and as long as someone meets the requirements for units, number of units, number of lots, et cetera, that would be, by site plan approval.
I mean, it seems it still comes before the board, but instead of
Instead of,
special permit, it's just a site plan. approval.
exactly.
Okay.
Yep, yep. All right. So the other one I wanted to draw attention to was, we had in the fall discussed the setback on North Main Street, bringing that in line with the other setback, or the setback on South Main. The planning board is still discussing that. I don't think there's right now 100% consensus on whether to bring that kind of make North and South Main the same, or push that to, we're also looking at a corridor study on North Main, and so potentially thinking about considering any sort of setback change to North Main as part of that future study. All right, I think there was one other thing I wanted to mention. Yeah, and that was about parking. And so we've had a lot of discussions about parking. The changes that we're proposing outline dimensional requirements for parking lots, the dimensions of the spaces, and also the aisle widths. We are proposing to add up to 15% of compact spaces would be allowed under the code as it's currently written. And nothing in terms of islands or kind of breaking up parking lots is changing. We've also brought into, on, I believe it was your all's recommendation, brought into the bylaw a note about parking, reserve parking. And so just trying to operationalize the way that we've been doing that. Okay, I think that's everything I wanted to bring up. Like I said, the planning board is walking through each of these line by line. So if you are interested, please come to the March 11th hearing. And Anthony, let me know, what can I answer for you?
Just for my own edification, on 2.4.5, they talk about if one of the zoning lines runs through a lot, that they have the choice of opting for the zoning that applies to the majority of the lot. Why not just either one? Why wouldn't he have his choice of both?
That's a good question. I think primarily what this would affect is like if there was a right at the edge of the lot, so like maybe you had like a corner of the lot in right on the edge of a district. So in that case, you want to opt for the majority. But it's a good question.
What if you merge 20 acres to 1 acre? All of a sudden, that I can pick to make those 20 acres residential now?
Yeah, right. Okay. They limit in-home borders to 2 on 3.216. could you make that just according to Board of Health regulations? What if somebody has like a 4-family and they want more than 2 boarders? I mean, a 4-bed. Do we have a problem with people boarding in town? Do you think that would be offensive to a neighbor if somebody had a 4-bedroom and all of a sudden he's got 3 tenants in there and he's living there himself? I'm thinking it's kind of like a family with teenagers, right? So it shouldn't be too,
I was just thinking of North Main Street, we had problems up there, but,
what's that?
no, I was just thinking up of North Main Street when we had problems up there behind the hotel. There was a lot of
Okay.
problems.
Nightmares, I believe they're called.
Yeah, yeah.
Nightmares.
Talk to the fire chief.
Nightmare. Right.
What was the name?
And does that apply, that doesn't apply to other boarding circumstances that are licensed by the state? For example, foster care. Does not apply to anything like that.
How about a sober house? Would it apply to a sober house?
Only if it's private, I mean, only if it's not, if it's charitable, not-for-profit, it's section 3. It doesn't, you can't limit it.
Huh.
Interesting.
Well, I guess as long as we can limit to an unsober house, might be a good idea. On 4126, how come no parking in front of the business districts? Like True Value Hardware has parking in front of it, seems to work. Is that a safety concern, or is that like an aesthetic concern?
They were grandfathered, and I think it's been aesthetic with us
Kind of an
usually.
aesthetic thing.
It's an aesthetic
That's,
thing?
but they were
It comes
grandfathered
to
in.
the
yeah.
ICDRC all the time.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. On 5111, they talk about electric charging stations in parking lots. I know that there's a state statute that overrides it. Do we have any flexibility with that, or is it just our zoning's going to be what the state statute is?
So right now, the idea of this addition is so that our zoning aligns with what the state code says. And so as the state code changes, we would not need to update the zoning. We have the ability to adopt the regulations that are in the stretch energy code, which go beyond what is in the base energy code. But that is not up to the zoning board to adopt.
Okay, so there's no way to make that purely elective to the guy that owns the property and is developing it? What if he didn't want to put charging stations and he has to, right?
Correct.
Okay. And on 633, my last one, limit on a 500-foot driveway. Any rationale on that? Is that a purposeful thing? Are there any lots in town? I guess I should check to see where that might be a limitation, where somebody wanted to do something. I know that there's a property off of North Main Street that goes way back, and he's probably more than 500 feet. So is that going to limit anything, or is that just kind of like a number somebody picked?
So I believe that's set by fire regulations, and if you go beyond that, you have to put in hydrant.
Fire department, okay. All right, cool. All right.
Even if there's not water? How do you do that?
You can't, so the 5, it's NFPA, if you do it right, you have to, what is it, Craig? You have to have certain width, and then you have to have a fire hydrant every 500 feet.
I'm still caught up in the electric vehicle ready space thing,
Yeah.
because I think we misrepresented what the bylaw is, but we'll go back to that. Sorry.
Is it now, do you prohibit driveways over 500 feet? Or is it, we used to have a special permit for that. Now is it
Yes.
prohibited?
Oh, I don't know.
No.
Oh, it's always been
No.
in place then. We've always had that.
It continues to be allowable
And
by
it's because
special
we want
permit.
the fire department to pay attention to it.
So how can you require a fire hydrant in a place that does not have a public water supply?
Then the fire department has other options, but it's to enable the fire department to make specific identification and to provide for proper safety and access. So if you don't require that, how do you control it? So that's how they do it. I mean, this town is not I mean, Ann knows, Ann's been on the board longest, that we have approved many over 500 feet. It's just that then you literally have the fire department come out, focus, and then apply.
Thank you.
Yeah, I've been doing this a long time here, right? So.
Did you have any more questions, Anthony?
No, that's it for me.
Okay. Craig, did you want to go back to the?
Yeah, just, it doesn't require those chargers be installed. It just requires that there's spaces that are ready.
Oh, okay.
So, like, it doesn't force the installation of the charging stations at all. Like, I've had this in other towns, so it's, if you read it specifically, electric vehicle-ready spaces. Parking lots must comply with the code by complying spaces wired for electric vehicle supply equipment. But it doesn't say we have to install the supply equipment, is the point. So, like, you have to basically allow for it to be there in the event that the owner does want to do it, but it's not like they've got to pay the expense to actually put in those for every project.
So it says wired?
Right.
Like, I wonder if, maybe on the 11th, I'll ask the people. I could see them wanting to put the conduits in, because they're going to be underground.
Right.
But to actually wire it, that stuff's expensive. And copper now a foot is sick.
Yeah, so thank you for clarifying that. And just so we're clear on what our zoning code is saying is the Middleton zoning bylaw is not going beyond what the state requires. So we added this in because everyone in Middleton, because they're in the state, have to follow what the state requires.
I get it. Thank you.
Awesome. Any other comments on the zoning bylaw review update? Just as a reminder, March 11th, the planning board will continue their public hearing on that. So, do we want to go back to 7 Jordan Lane? Okay. We have a new public hearing for 7 Jordan Lane. Applicant is requesting a special permit to raise the existing home and construct a new dwelling in a location other than the footprint. Yes, yeah, there you go, Ann.
Zoning Board of Appeals will hold a public hearing on Thursday, February 26th at 7 p.m. at Fuller Meadows School on the application for J. Giroux for a special permit. This applicant is proposing to raise the existing home, construct a new dwelling in a location other than the footprint of the existing home at 7 Jordan Lane, found on Assessor's Map 25, Lot 190. Plans are on file with the town clerk.
Good evening, sorry I was late, and I appreciate your indulgence in taking things at a time for me. I'm going to give you a copy of a plan that just was colored by the engineer. If I could separate them, I would, though.
Okay.
So it's easier to see it when it's all colored up. So I'm going to give you one. So this particular property is located at 7 Lane. It's the street that's
Jill,
off.
could you just get here?
Oh, I apologize.
Sorry.
I thought I had, Jill Mann, legal counsel for the applicant, J. Giroux.
Thank you.
Thank you. In connection with his request for special permit to raise and relocate and reconstruct a home at 7 Jordan Lane. So basically, there's an existing home there. It was a camp. It's only like 510 square feet. It's a very, very small home. You can kind of see it in the outline here. It's set very close to the street and violates front setbacks. This particular plan, we were able to actually meet all setbacks, meet the requirement even for the 25-foot no disturb for a structure with the Conservation Commission. And it's noteworthy to mention the Conservation Commission did issue an order of conditions for the property approving the new location and its proximity to the on-site wetlands. In addition to that, there has been a submittal for a new septic system. Given the age of this, you can imagine the condition of the septic system. I would venture to say it's probably accessible. But now this will be a legally compliant Title V septic system, and the good news is it will also have stormwater facilities. So they have, on the plan that you see here, this Cultec system, it'll get all the roof runoff, it'll infiltrate. So there are a lot of good things that are happening as a result of this redevelopment. So the plan is to take down this home and to construct a home that would be able to be used. And 500 square feet is very small, and it is truly a camp. This, though, is not a huge mega mansion. It's only going to be about 1,400 square feet of living space. There'll be a 2-car garage. It is Middleton, and you did just get how many feet of snow? It's crazy. So there will be an attached two-car garage, as you can see. It's been, they made it so that it's 2 blocks so that they could avoid the wetland and be able to put the septic system in and again, meet the regulations for Title V for a replacement or repair system. This particular property is non-conforming for a number of reasons. First, it's only 10,000 square feet. It's located in the R1A zoning district, which requires 20. It does not have frontage on a way. It has access over a private right-of-way to Jordan Lane. And those are the reasons why the lot itself is non-conforming. But the lot was created before zoning here. The house was built before zoning. The house in the home probably created sometime around 1920, but I prefer to say 1939 because I traced deeds and they have reference points. So it is truly a legally existing, non-conforming lot and structure. Notwithstanding the fact that it's non-conforming and protected and exempt from bylaw, when you're actually going to replace a home or you're tearing it down, this town requires that you get a special permit, not just a finding, but a special permit, so that you evaluate it and you say, look, is this going to impact the surroundings? Is it going to be detrimental? Is it going to be this huge structure? So you go through all of the machinations of zoning. Does it comply with all setbacks? Yes. Does it have a compliant septic system? Yes. Is there going to actually be an overall benefit? Yes, because, again, it'll be a good septic system versus one that was not really safe for the environment, and there'll be stormwater protections. So basically, I would suggest to this board that this, in fact, is less detrimental than the current structure. I mean, it'll do a lot of things for the town. You know, you're going to be providing a smaller home. This is not a large home. 1,400 square feet is not a large living space. So that will be at least providing for a more moderate-sized home for more entry-level buyers. You know, it's not going to be substantially more detrimental. Also, it's only a 2-bedroom home. It's a 2-bedroom home now, believe it or not. I don't know how 500 square feet could be a 2-bedroom, but it is. So the 500 square foot home was a 2-bedroom home. That's what the septic system was. That's what it was actually used for. And this is going to be just a 2-bedroom home. The home itself, again, won't have any negative impacts on the natural environment. As we said, it'd actually be an improvement because you're going to have storm water and the Title V. And you did have it reviewed by the Conservation Commission that did approve this particular plan and location. It will represent an overall benefit to the community because it's going to take an old, fairly rundown home and put in a new state-of-the-art home. You know, that will be nicely maintained, it'll be fully manicured, and everything will be new. In addition to that, it does benefit the community in terms of, you know, you always have to look at what's the fiscal impact. It's a 2-bedroom home now, so you can have children going to school. 2-bedroom homes don't generate a lot of school children, I will say. But even if it did, you know, this particular property will end up generating more in taxes because you have a larger home and a more improved home. So those are all of the benefits. Plus, the neighbors tend to like to have more homes that are in keeping, I don't want to say modern because it's not a modern home, but you want a new, well-kept, well-manicured home. And that's what it will provide for the neighbors itself. If you have any questions, I'd love to answer them, but you have the plan in front of you that actually shows how it's going to be situated. I did include in your package the architectural plans, which are a very simple home. And as I said, the Conservation Commission and Board of Health have reviewed and approved the plans for this particular reconstruction. Thank you.
Sorry, she just had a question for me. You wanted the street view? Sorry.
Yeah, it's set back already. It's
Yeah, it's
not too close to the neighbor's house, and Lori Labree's not here to oppose anything, so I'd imagine the neighbors would love that.
While Ann looks at the thing, is anyone here to speak? Anyone else here to speak? I don't think so. Any questions from the board? Anthony? Start?
Nope.
Linda?
So the 2-bedroom is probably because that's where you can go with a compliant septic system?
So, because of the way the septic rules, the Title V works, the current system is only a 2-bedroom system. So you literally limit, you cannot build more than a 2-bedroom system. So what what you do in these scenarios, where it's on this type of a lot, is you have to apply under certain rules that apply for a repair of a septic system, so it can never be bigger than a 2-bedroom septic system. The lot can't, you really can't accommodate bigger than a 2-bedroom home. I mean, that footprint had to be shrunk even from the original proposal because of the wetland. So it is truly a 2-bedroom home site, no more.
Okay.
But it is driven in part by the Board of Health.
Anne?
Was it 1 story or 2?
So it's, as you can see in the plan, it's like 1.5. You see how they have like the attic space on one side, and then they do have the bedrooms on the second. Can you bring up the architectural plans?
Yeah.
1 second, Ms. Cody, I'll have it. Like the space above the garage is just attic, storage.
It won't be a frog. Finished.
I always get leery because of what happened on,
Oh, do you want me to touch it?
Washington Street.
There we go. Okay. Dear restrictions, proposed floor plans, there you go. Okay. So the basement, there's like a full basement on the other side, which is really, it's completely underground. Basically for storage, it isn't being finished. And then you can see the other sides are slabs. So then we go to the first floor. Here's the 2-car garage. Here's like the living space, traditional living space, kitchen, living room. I mean, it really is just that. And then when you go up to the second floor, you have the 2 bedrooms and the bathrooms.
So
And the open
garage-
attic above the garage.
Cellar is ground level, it's not above the ground?
It is below the ground. That's why, so you have the slabs and then it goes below. The reason for the slabs, Ms. Cody, is because the septic system, you have to keep a certain distance away from when you have a basement, so that's why the slabs are required. Otherwise, they would have had a full basement, but they can't.
Oh, so it's on slab over a foundation.
Yeah, it's not done because it's a walkout or anything like that. It's done because literally it has to be slab in order to comply with the regulations for Title V. Because you can see, so here's the first floor. The basement is completely underground.
Because we had someone in Lar Ave build a cellar above the ground, and the building was like 3 stories high.
Right. Okay.
Super high.
It's a very modest home.
It looks great to me.
Considering
what we've
maybe
seen.
one of our kids will buy it, right?
Like, it's kind of nice to see a normal.
Yeah, well, maybe not yours. They're a little young.
Yeah. But access to the attic space, like an open/attic, where is that?
So it's above the garage, but here's the floor. I think these are the stairs to it.
Okay. So you will be able to access that
Oh,
from the
yeah,
living
you-
space?
I believe you will.
Does that answer your question?
Well, yeah, I know, it's more the height of the entire building, though, it's not more than the
Okay.
surrounding.
Oh, yeah, I think it's 29 feet. Oh, 23, I apologize. The total height is 23. The average is even less.
Correct.
No, I mean, a lot of times we get asked to review these without even having the Concom and Board of Health approval, so it's nice having those already. I mean,
Yeah.
For this particular lot, it only made sense to have both approvals, because it's just too
no,
small.
you'd be coming back.
Yeah.
So, I mean, no, that's why I checks all the boxes.
I think it's great. I mean, I looked at on Zillow and like the existing house looks really cute.
It's adorable.
I always get like sad when I see like older homes being torn down for new construction. Obviously, there's not much you can do. I don't. Is it even 500 square feet?
509 square feet.
Yeah.
I mean, it is truly it must be like, I don't even know how you get 2 bedrooms in that. I mean, we all know, is 500 square feet even this room?
Yeah, it's like a non-accessory accessory
And
dwelling.
I think it's a traditional Middleton camp, where people used to come here and enjoy the summers.
Yeah.
So will the workshop over the garage not be heated? Or will it be heated?
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that.
Why wouldn't you heat it?
I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think that, I don't know why you would heat it.
Is the stairway access from the interior or the garage?
I believe it's from the interiors. There's no space in the garage for stairs in it.
Good. I like it.
Yeah, I think it's great.
Yeah, that garage is as small as the garage can get.
Okay. Anyone want to make a motion?
Anybody here to speak in opposition?
I already asked that question, but I'll ask it again.
Just fun throwing.
Madam Chair, if I may, make the following motion. Based on the evidence and testimony provided, I move that the board accept the following findings. First, that the original dwelling is a legally existing non-conforming structure under section 3.3.1, and the petitioner's request to raise and reconstruct the original dwelling is governed by the provisions of section 3.3.7. Two, the project will not create any new nonconformities and will eliminate the encroachment into the front yard. Three, the new home will not be substantially more detrimental to the neighborhood than the original dwelling. It will remain a two-bedroom home and will not impact the volume of traffic in the neighborhood. The project minimizes negative impacts on the natural environment. The Conservation Commission has approved the layout in proximity to the wetlands, and the Board of Health has reviewed and approved the septic system design. Fifth, the new home will increase the assessed value of the property, which will result in a positive fiscal impact for the town and a benefit for the neighboring properties. Sixth, the new home is consonant with the residential character of the neighborhood. Seventh, the special permit is for a residential use and does not require the delivery of a landscape and lighting plan, a traffic study, or a comprehensive stormwater management report. That's it.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Ann. All those in favor?
Aye.
Madam Chair, based on those findings and the board's authority to grant such relief under sections 3.3.7, section 3, and 9.4.1 of the bylaws, I move to issue the special permit subject to our general conditions.
Motion made.
Second.
Seconded by Ann. All of those in favor?
Aye.
There you go.
So I will say that the special conditions or general conditions don't typically apply to residential uses. Is there something?
Yeah, you're right. Anything in particular?
No, I just like all those conditions just don't apply because it's like, you know, you do the as-built plan, all of those things. So,
You want us to remove the language?
yeah. If you wouldn't mind.
So struck.
I move to strike the language concerning the general conditions as the property is residential in nature.
We have
I
a
second.
motion. Yep, seconded by Anthony. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay.
Work makes the dream work.
Right. Okay, moving on. Last but not least, project update on 227 Maple Street.
Yes, I just wanted to share with the board that the applicant that we heard, and then they withdrew their application. They do plan to come forward with another application. I'm not sure their timeline, but they did send a note to the building commissioner that they plan to prepare a plan that brings them into compliance with the current zoning on the property.
Awesome. Great to hear it. Anything else, anyone? Okay. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Aye.
Aye.
I don't know if I have to second that one.
Nope.